Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Carrie and I love to make motivational cleaning, cooking, and homemaking videos, and this one's definitely a busy one. So thanks for watching and let's get right on into it. Hi baby. Hi baby Link. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hello. It's not too bad. Thankfully, the kids did pick up the cheese mostly that they ate all over. Cleaned up mostly last night. But we just have some stuff we need to put away. It's really not that bad. We just need to vacuum and mop the floors, dust, wipe things down. It shouldn't take too long. Let's start in the dining room. Hi, babies. Hello. Hello, sweet baby. Let's show the new kitten. There you are. Come here, Papa. Come here. Now that we're coming up on summer, my house has been a revolving door for our family, friends, and neighbors, and I needed to get it back up to standard since we had a few families over the night before for some tacos. We love entertaining at our house, and after everyone leaves, I like to get things back in order again and definitely clean the floors. And we had done a little picking up the night before, and like I mentioned in the intro, some of the kids had either been eating shredded cheese while running around the house or had a food fight while all the parents were outside by the fire pit. But it looks like either way, they cleaned it up or the dog went around and ate it for me. So thankfully it wasn't as bad as the night before. Starting in my living room, since this was the most clean space, and I'm just dusting everything, wiping down the furniture, and gonna give everything a good vacuum and of course mop the floors. Vacuum I'm using is the Dyson V11 Torque, which works great, but I lost my small vacuum attachment when we were remodeling our house, and I'm hoping that when we organize our garage, we find it because we had been keeping a bunch of stuff in there while the remodeling was going on. But as always, I will link my cleaning products in the description box below. I am dusting the furniture using just a basic dust spray to not only clean it, but also repel any dust that builds up during the week. And for my mop, I'm using the Libman Spin Mop. It's very similar to the O-Cedar, and besides mopping, it's great for cleaning walls and baseboards. The Libman Spin Mop advertises that it can kill 99% of bacteria with water alone, but I like to put pine sol in my water to make sure and clean things really well and also give off the fresh, clean scent when I'm all done. Sometimes I'll use some essential oils, but as you saw, I have 3 cats and a dog, and a lot of essential oils are not safe for or pleasant to animals, and pine sol is safe for pet areas, so that one is usually my go-to. And besides mopping, I also use pine sol in the laundry occasionally. It's great for getting out like mildew smells out of towels. It also makes them super soft. And sometimes when I'm washing shower liners or anything like that, I like to put about a 1/4 cup in the wash with those, or like rags that I clean with, for example, to get them nice and clean. And plus it makes the laundry smell great. The living room didn't look too dirty before, but as you can see, when you get close up, it definitely needed to be cleaned. heading over into the kitchen now, and we did get a new kitten. I normally would have said no to another animal, but one of our best friend's cats had a litter, and the cats are half Bengal, half Sphinx, and we have always wanted a Bengal, so we couldn't say no. But if you're new here, like I said, my name is Carrie, and I live in California with my husband of 12 years and our 2 kids, and I have always been the type of person who just enjoys cleaning. I feel super decompressed and productive when I clean. It lowers my stress and my anxiety, and I just love making my home feel like an inviting space for my family. When I was really little, I used to tell my mom that I wanted to be a maid, so my family loves to remind me of that. But I just love bettering my space, and I was even the type of cousin or friend that would come over and clean or organize your room during a sleepover, just because I like to make people happy. So I always just try and carry that attitude over into my chores and homemaking. Always loved being super creative too, so I decided to make this channel to find a community that's like me, and I figure if you're watching this that you like cleaning too. So thank you again so much for clicking on this video today. I invite you to subscribe to my channel for more homemaking motivation. We're also doing some cooking and gardening today, so I hope you get something out of this video, whether it's a new friend or some new inspiration. We moved into this house about 2 years ago, and it's still a work in progress. I will never pretend that my house is perfect, although I am always working on making progress, so you will definitely get a more realistic video over here on my channel. Like to wipe down my counters with the Norwex e-cloth. It cleans bacteria with only water and makes it so easy to wipe down not only the counters but pretty much anything that's sitting on top of them as well. So it makes cleaning super fast. But since we had a bunch of people over and we were cooking a bunch of food, I'm using the Lysol multi-purpose spray today to cut through some of that grime. The next day actually, and I was getting ready to go to the grocery store, and it had been a while since I had cleaned out the fridge, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that out and wipe things down so everything's ready to go when the groceries come in. I start by taking everything out of the fridge and either throwing it away if it's expired, or I'll organize everything into groups on the counter so that way I know how much space I need when I put everything back for, like all the dairy stuff or all the dressings or hot sauces, and so I'll wipe everything down before I put everything back inside. about the lighting in this shot, but we don't have blinds on our kitchen window yet, and this was the afternoon when the sun is shining right into the side of our house. This is my supervisor, Brandon. Just kidding. He likes to come and talk to me when I'm doing chores, but he's usually around with the kids or doing other things around the house. So even though it looks like I'm doing everything by myself, I don't like to show my kids on the channel. And so my family is usually in the background helping me put stuff away, cleaning other rooms, or working in the yard. Very similar to the before, but we have all the expired food thrown out, the shelves are wiped down, and I have things organized with our broth making stuff in the bottom. I like to save vegetable scraps in a baggie, and I also have a ham bone and some steak that I'll use to make some broth. Got some veggies in the top drawer with some other leftovers that I froze, and everything else organized. Next, we're moving on to the oven, which honestly isn't too bad because it's only about a year old, but I wanted to go ahead and clean that and get some of this grease and splatter out of here. To clean the oven, I usually just use a degreaser that I let sit for a little while, but the inside glass was not getting completely clean, so I ended up using the cleaner and sponge that are used for the glass cooktop, and it was better, but I definitely think next time I need to get a razor blade or something else to cut that grease out. This is the LG Think oven. It's a smart oven that connects to your phone, and it will tell you when the oven is preheated or a timer is going off. You can also scan barcodes to your frozen food, and it will automatically know like what to preheat it to and the timing for cooking it. And it also texts me like every other week that it's time to be cleaned, which is really funny because who cleans their oven every other week? Not me. As you can tell by my wardrobe change, this is also another day of the week. Normally I don't have time to do all the basic tidying and cleaning of the house, like dishes and stuff that I need to stay on top of daily with everything going on. And so I will end up doing 1 or 2 more deep cleaning tasks a day. I do work from home, plus the kids are in school, so my time is definitely limited. Moving out into the garden now, and it had been about 2 years since we last cut and pruned this palm tree, but now that the weather's warming up, it was the perfect time. So thankfully it's small enough I can just use my regular clippers, and I'm giving it a good haircut. If you're going to trim your own palms, make sure you wear gloves and watch your eyeballs because they have super long and sharp thorns toward the base of the fronds, and they will bite you. While I'm out here, I'm going to help my husband clean the pool. We do all the cleaning and chemicals ourselves, and it's definitely something you need to stay on top of, especially in the summer as it warms up. It doesn't look too green right now since this was filmed on a cooler day, but normally we stabilize the chemicals, give it a good brush, and skim all the leaves and debris out. We actually resurfaced this pool about 2 years ago when we moved into the house. There was a palm tree that was too close to the pool. It had cracked it. The roots had like literally ripped off the skimmer. And so we had to pull that tree and a couple of others, fix the crack and retile and resurface everything. So if you want to see more on that, I do have an older video I did on it. So I'll go ahead and link that here. I need some water. A little bit of life still. Hopefully, fingers crossed. These didn't bloom this year. As you can see by my garden, I'm not the best gardener. One of my pygmy palms, it died. I don't know if it was overwatered or underwatered, but my tomato plant is doing well. I actually have 3 tomatoes growing on it now, and we are going to have some beefsteak tomatoes, hopefully when those are ripe. My strawberries were doing well, and unfortunately the plumeria didn't make it. Even though I had a little bit of green left after I tried to save it after the frost, it died. So now I'm just propagating more strings of banana. That's what this succulent is called. It's super easy. You just cut it because they grow super long. You just like snap it off, or you could trim it with clippers, and you just stick it back in the soil after you take off like some of those bananas from the like stem part that you're going to stick in, and water it, and it will take anywhere. And then I had propagated these plants on a recent video that I did. They're doing okay. They're hanging in there. I'm hoping that they get some new growth and really stabilize, because I feel like they're in shock from just getting cut off their mama plant. And I'm going to clean all these fronds up. I trimmed that other pygmy palm, and things are looking much more clean in my yard. dinner now, and since it was a bit chillier on this day, I'm making some sausage and lentil soup. I usually follow Ina Garten's recipe and it always comes out great. I use andouille sausage this time for a little bit of a kick, and it's a super budget friendly meal that goes a long way since we all know grocery prices are soaring right now. I will add a little disclaimer here that if you end up using sausage, to definitely be careful with the salt you add and wait until the end because it has a lot of sodium in it already. I already have my mirepoix going in the pan, or the pot I guess. It is carrots, celery, and onion chopped up, and it's the base for many soups and sauces, and I'm just softening those veggies in some butter. I'm adding in the sausage that I chopped up. I chopped it up kind of smaller since it's going to be with the lentils, and I'm adding some tomato. It called for tomato paste, but I did not have any, so I'm just working with what I have, and then I have no idea what I'm doing. No wonder it had so many carrots in it because it already had carrots. But I think I was just like reading the recipe and it said like add carrots at this time. And so I don't know why I did that because I actually don't even like that many carrots in my soup or my food. But it is what it is. It came out really good still. Then once all this is kind of cooked to my liking, I'm going to add the broth and the lentils to get those cooked. We always serve our soups with some sort of salad. My husband needs the soup and the salad. I could live off soup every day of the week alone. I wake up, I crave soup. I topped it with some Parmesan cheese, and I would have loved to have some crusty bread with it. If I had time, I would have made it, but I didn't. And now, oh my god, disgusting. I have to clean my sink. This is super embarrassing to show you guys, but it's real life, and I always use Barkeeper's Friend to clean my sink. I used to use the powder cleanser, and I still do if it's like porcelain, but since this is stainless steel, I'm using the cream cleanser and a sponge and just really giving it a good clean. I love this sink. We put it in when we remodeled the kitchen, but the thing is it has those grates, which I do like, but they are a pain to clean. You have to like really scrub them all over. Now that the sink is all clean, it's time for another dinner idea. Right now I'm just browning some rice. It's uncooked in butter and with some fresh garlic, and for some reason this just gives the rice an amazing depth of flavor and texture. Another thing I usually do when I'm cooking rice, depending on the recipe, if it's Mexican rice or this type of rice, is just rinse it first so that way it doesn't stick together and is a little bit more fluffy. And now I'm cutting up some chicken breasts and I'm going to season them for some Mediterranean chicken bowls using some lemon, olive oil, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and some oregano. And then I'm going to chop up a cucumber, a tomato, some red onion, and I'm going to make a salad to add to those bowls as well. And I served it with some pita and hummus and tzatziki sauce, of course. And this is one of my husband's favorite meals. We make some sort of version of this at least every other week. I've talked about this knife before, but this is my favorite knife to cut tomatoes with. We got it in the As Seen on TV section in Walmart, I think. Normally in my stores, it's towards the front and by the cashiers. And it seriously cuts tomatoes so well. It doesn't squish them down or ruin them or anything. And it's also great at making shredded lettuce as well. Everything in this bowl, some fresh lemon, olive oil, and seasoning as well, just so it all marries together when it's in the bowls nicely. I realize I know I said Mediterranean chicken bowls, but I'm clearly using a plate. I think actually this was a serving for my daughter, and so I just put it on a plate for her. She likes it a little more spread out, not necessarily all mixed together. But this is the next morning, and I was waiting for my breakfast to cook and noticed that the windows here were just all splashed with water, and so I'm going to give those a wipe down, and then I'm going to go outside. I could only do the one side because we got to remove the screens and like truly clean the windows, but I think the people that lived here before replaced this window and not like the others, because this one is a vinyl siding window and most of the other ones are wood. I forget what it's called, wood something, but they have like a wood frame. They all need to be replaced, but I do need to just clean the screens and give the outside windows a good wash too. Going to wipe down the counters one last time, and that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I hope that you'll choose to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!